Though these high-flying unmanned aircraft aren't able to stealthily penetrate North Korean air defenses undetected, they could carry long-range radars and other sensors that could peer into the Hermit Kingdom from a standoff distance. You can read more about that in our detailed explainer on U.S. military intelligence and surveillance assets pointed at North Korea. Those American satellites, aircraft, drones, and other systems could potentially feed additional data to South Korea's military in preparation for the missile attacks. South Korea is also exploring renting commercial surveillance satellites ahead of plans to launch its own space-based intelligence-gathering constellation starting in 2021, but given the density of South Korean urban centers and their proximity to North Korea, the country's capital Seoul is already within range of North Korean 170mm guns and 300mm artillery rockets. Even just a single North Korean missile, especially one carrying a nuclear or chemical weapon, could be devastating. If enough of those weapons survive the initial barrage, Kim Jong-un could decide to provoke a regional crisis by attacking targets in Japan, or even lash out at the U.S. military base on Guam or beyond. The war zone's Tyler Rogowe recently pointed out that the North Korean premier could decide to launch a terrifying asymmetric attack on military and commercial satellites in low Earth orbit too. Kim Jong-un and other North Korean officials celebrate after the successful test of a Hwasong-14 intercontinental ballistic missile in September 2017. Ballistic missile defenses could help defend against these counterattacks. The U.S. Army recently declared that it had finished setting up its Terminal High-Altitude Air Defense THA-80 missile defense battery in South Korea and formally attached the unit, Battery D, 2nd Air Defense Artillery, to its 35th Air Defense Artillery Brigade, which is forward deployed in the country. Unfortunately, the interceptors only guard a relatively limited area and would have trouble responding to a multi-missile barrage, especially if it came from a number of different directions at once, including from submarines offshore, which could be a possibility in the future. Conservative estimates from experts suggest that millions of people could die in the opening salvo of any conflict that erupts first on the Korean peninsula. Despite fiery rhetorically from both U.S. President Trump and Kim and his regime in North Korea, government officials in the United States, South Korea, Japan, and other countries in the region have consistently stressed their desire, at least publicly, for a non-military solution to the problem. North Korea's provocation threatened regional and global security despite unanimous condemnation by the United Nations Security Council. U.S. Secretary of Defense James Mattis said during a shared press conference with his South Korean and Japanese counterparts on the sidelines of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations ASEAN Defense Ministers meeting in the Philippines on October 24, 2017. As United States Secretary of State Tillerson has said, quote, "Our goal is the complete, verifiable and irreversible denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula," unquote. Part of achieving that goal will definitely including the United States and its allies making clear their willingness and capabilities to respond militarily to North Korean provocations. So far, though, it unfortunately has had little obvious impact on convincing Kim to adopt a more conciliatory tone. Don't forget to sign up your email address.